Welcome back to WWE 2K25 Universe Mode. We are on the road to NXT Battleground as we continue the NXT title tournament. Of course, Lexis King will take on Oba Femi in tonight's opening contest. JC Jane and Kalani Jordan also to come. Nathan Frazier and Axiom take on Gallus in tag action. Tyler Breeze and Eddie Thorpe go one-on-one. And in our main event, NXT title tournament continues with Ethan Page versus the mystery entrant into the tournament. We will see who that is. But first, Femi and King to start our show off. NXT title tournament continues. The winner of this match will take on Trick Williams in the semifinals next week. Huge match here. Oba Femi got into this match in somewhat of a play-in match against Tyler Bate, a street fight a couple weeks back. Oba Femi came out victorious there. He advanced to face Lexis King in this tournament. Let's bring out Lexis King. Of course, Femi lost twice to Tyler Bate. We weren't sure he would get on the roll that he was expected to in this series. Of course, big street fight win over Bate changed his course just a little. Let's see if he can get it done against Lexis King, who is maybe not the most intimidating physical competitor, but he is crafty. Lexis King can definitely pull some tricks out of his sleeve, especially against a bigger competitor like Oba Femi. Let's see how this one goes down. Winner goes on to face Trick Williams. Got to imagine Trick is going to be watching this one pretty close after defeating Joe Gacy to advance to the semifinals. Bell rings and Lexis went right for Oba, but Oba just sends him up into the sky. Gonna go for the cover there, gets a 1 count. The mind games of Oba Femi just gonna pin him after that huge flapjack. Lexis went in there with a full head of steam, but did not capitalize. Femi is just gonna bring him up. Sends King against the ropes. Big shoulder block from the ruler. Femi, of course, looking to be the ruler of the NXT men's division, looked to be the inaugural NXT champion as he's just locking a bear hug here. One of those titles with such a prestigious lineage in another world. He hoping to add to that lineage or begin that lineage here in Universe Mode, what is likely to be a very storied title. As big neck breaker courtesy of King, as he's just going to take advantage now. Lexis King looking to make this one an even fight. Femi, of course, has the size advantage, the power advantage. Lexis King crafty. He's going to need to use every trick in the book to take down Oba Femi to advance to face Trick Williams. Of course, I mean, this is not an easy task for Lexis King. He's got one of possibly the hardest paths to the NXT Championship of anybody in this tournament. Has to take down Trick Williams. If he gets past Oba Femi, then of course whoever wins on the other side of the bracket, the likes of Ethan Page, Tony D'Angelo, someone who we will find out in tonight's main event, the final entrant in this tournament, who I can confirm will be a debut, new to NXT. Will this star be? As King is just going to take the strikes onslaught to Femi, who pushes him off. Oba gonna look to get back into it as the referee blocks. Hey buddy, get out of the way. Hey ref. We can only assume that these guys are slugging it out right now, but I guess there's no way to be certain. But on my point, Lexis King really, by getting to the NXT title match, I mean, much like even more so winning it, as Femi is just going to take control there after the scrap, he would prove that he belongs at the top of the main event scene in NXT. Having to defeat this caliber of opponents, as Femi is just going to send him against the ropes again. Another big shoulder block. Femi is going to try and make sure that doesn't happen. He's going to try and send Lexis to the bottom of the card. Suplex toss there. That could be enough to put King away. 1, 2. No, Lexis barely survives there. Count of 2. Now he's just going to powder to the outside of the ring to the apron. Femi is going to scout him, but no! Runs right into a knee strike. Lexis back in the ring. He's going to send Oba against the ropes against the referee. Oba counters, though. And he's just going to lift Lexis up. Fall from grace. Fall from grace powerbomb. 1, 2, Thanks for coming, Lexis King. But the ruler will advance to face Trick Williams in the semifinals next week. That is going to be a hell of a contest. Could very well have been the finals if the bracket lined up properly. But the ruler gets a second consecutive big victory over Lexis King to advance in the NXT title tournament, hoping to become our first NXT champion. But of course, we must move on because we have a hell of a show as Oba Femi lets the lights turn down upon his big victory. Huge victory for Oba Femi as he advances in the NXT title tournament. But ahead of our second match here tonight, we have a post from General Manager Shawn Michaels. At NXT Battleground, we'll crown a Women's North American Champion. Gigi Dolan will get a bye after defeating new NXT Women's Champ Blair Davenport a few weeks back. Her opponent will be determined in a fatal five-way, which will take place earlier in the night between Jacy Jayne, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Thea Hale. Two of the 5 women who are going to challenge for the North American Championship at Battleground. Go head-to-head here tonight, Jacy Jayne and Kalani Jordan. Let's see who comes out on top. Kalani Jordan with a big momentum-building victory ahead of Battleground a couple weeks away. Speaking of Battleground, tag team title implications here, as the winners of this match will go on to face Chase U for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and Gallus gets the potential upset on Fraxium. Coffee and Wolfgang pick up the victory. They will challenge Chase U for those championships, those vacant championships at Battleground. Let's see which one of those two teams will become the first NXT Tag Team Champions. Tyler Breeze and Eddie Thorpe, 2 men who came up short in the NXT North American title qualifying matches. Tyler Breeze, of course, losing out to Sean Spears, while Eddie Thorpe fell to mystery opponent Omos. Let's see which one of these men can build up some momentum going forward. And it is Eddie Thorpe. Just a brutalizing of Tyler Breeze. Of course, Breeze kept it a little competitive. Eddie Thorpe just went into second gear, destroying Tyler Breeze to get a big victory, hoping that the NXT brass will consider him for future opportunities. Of course, you have to imagine he feels a little robbed after getting crushed by a mystery 7'5" man in his North American qualifier. But we must move on to our main event as we find out who the mystery opponent is in the last quarterfinal of the NXT title tournament. Season debut for this man, All Ego Ethan Page, looking to kill him with a smile and advance in the NXT title tournament. Winner of this contest will go on to challenge Tony D'Angelo next week for a shot at the NXT title match in Battleground. Ethan Page has an uphill battle to climb, possibly more than anyone else in the tournament, not knowing who his opponent is. A star that we have previously confirmed will be new to NXT. We have not seen this person here before. Let's find out who Ethan Page may be going up against. And who could this be? The anticipation is killing me. Who is it? Yes, it is. How many of you saw this one coming? Absolute Ricky Saints is here in NXT, taking in the. Does he also have Ethan Page's theme song? Is that what I'm hearing right now? Regardless, absolute Ricky Saints is here, and my goodness, the crowd is loving it. One of these men will face Tony D'Angelo next week. Ethan Page, had to be expecting this a little. Of course, the rumors have been flowing that this man would be arriving in NXT, and he goes right for a small package, looking to make an impact, as Saints just looking to pick apart Ethan Page. And he's gonna go, is this a, little arm breaker here? For arm bar, with the other one trapped. Page, looking a little phased here, as Ricky Saints just gonna slam his head against the mat. Paige has, I believe, the slight size advantage, but not that that matters. I mean, Ricky Saints obviously knew he would be competing in this tournament. Ethan Page had really no idea who he would be up against in the quarterfinals here. Winner of this goes on to face Tony D'Angelo. Gotta be nice for D'Angelo to now know who his opponent will be. One of these two men at least. Big back suplex on the outside, right to the apron. Back of Ethan Page, gotta be killing him after that one. As Saints just sends him against the apron again. Oh my god! Inverted DDT on the ground. Ricky Saints is pulling no punches here in his NXT debut. Saints looking to be a star. Imagine Ricky Saints comes in, first match, first appearance, makes an impact, possibly goes on to win the NXT Championship. No, but I don't think anybody would see that coming so quickly. But it's a distinct possibility. Of course, one of these two men could be contending against Oba Femi or Trick Williams. That is what all three of these men know. Paige, D'Angelo is big arm ring. Paige, D'Angelo, Saints. All of these three men know that they will be taking on Trick Williams or Oba Femi in the finals of the tournament. But he's the Spinebuster from Ethan Page. Rattles Saints, possibly gives him the advantage for the first time as he's gonna hit him with a swinging neckbreaker, tells the crowd to pipe down. Not sure they're gonna do that. Excited for Ricky Saints. Maybe a little less excited for Ethan Page, but Page nonetheless is just gonna taunt. He might look to put this away. Imagine the growth of the already inflated ego of Ethan Page if he manages to put Ricky Saints away in his debut, completely spoil the debut of Ricky Saints. Of course, someone he is quite familiar with, worked all around the world with this guy. This Page is gonna stomp a hole into his chest, goes for the cover there, one. No, Saints gets out. And, oh, he's right back up. Ricky Saints is right back up, sends Page into the corner. Ricky is now gonna set him up in a tree of woe. Not good for Ethan Page, very precarious position as Saints is just gonna send knee strikes into the abdomen of all ego. Page rolls back out though. Ricky taunts the crowd, or I guess tries to hype him up. Back in the ring now, both men. And they are just gonna slug it out. We've seen a lot of this so far. Neither man really able to get the edge thus far. Gotta think, I mean, there's some added pressure for Ethan Page. I mean, not only do you advance in the tournament, you also get the chance to spoil the debut of NXT's shiny new toy. Gotta think that's gotta be insulting to not only Ethan Page, but the rest of the NXT locker room. Of course, this guy doesn't show up before. He's a new signing, and he already gets the fast track to the NXT title. Gotta think guys who've been working their asses off in the locker room, the likes of, I mean, Josh Briggs, guys who were in the NXT North American tournament, like Javon Evans. Oh, twisted grin! He could spoil the debut of Ricky Saints. 1, 2. No, Saints kicks out. That would have likely put a smile on a lot of the NXT stars' faces. Page continued the onslaught. Ego's Edge connects. That has to be all for Ricky Saints. 1, 2. The debut has been spoiled by Ethan Page. The ego boost that will give all ego is immeasurable. Ricky Saints makes his triumphant debut in Universe Mode here in NXT, and it's over just like that. Ethan Page has advanced, and he will take on Tony D'Angelo in the semifinals next week. I can announce that match will kick the show off next week, while Trick Williams and Oba Femi will be the main event. What an unbelievable moment. Ethan Page knocks off NXT's shiny new toy. Kill him with a smile, Ethan Page gets that advancement in the NXT title tournament to end what was a phenomenal episode of NXT as always. Page has earned the gloating. Please join us next time for SmackDown, and thanks for watching.